Welcome to the COMC Community Spotlight Show, of course, presented by the great folks at Central Ozarks Medical Center, where your health is their mission. And we've got our friend, the Sheriff, Chris Edgar, back with us, Sheriff of Camden County. Thank you, sir. Appreciate taking the time out to come join us.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. So we had you on the show a few months ago, and we ran out of time, but you were telling us the amazing story about kind of how your family came together, how God brought together your family. You've got two children, both adopted.
Yes.
How did that all happen? How did that come about?
Well, Amanda, Austin was prior. I mean, she had Austin prior to us.
Amanda, your wife.
Yes, and I came into their life when he was 4.
Okay.
And so I was there helping raise him. In October of 2013, he asked me to adopt him.
He comes to you and he asks you to adopt him.
Yes, he was 13 years old. Him and I grew up, as he was growing up, we had a bond. We became very close, which we still are today. I mean, we still talk every day. I mean, he still confides in me if he needs anything, and which I still do with my dad. I mean, I'm thankful to be able to have that relationship. And so we fast forward and I ended up adopting him at 13 by his blessing.
Yeah.
And that was what meant the most, is I didn't want to push. I always wanted to adopt him.
Right.
I mean, I always thought of him, this is my son. And when he asked to take my last name, that's when.
Were there any tears involved?
Oh my goodness! It meant the world to me.
Pretty powerful.
It is.
Yeah.
And then fast forward to, which it was 2007. My wife received a phone call from her cousin, who had a troubled life. She was an addict and stuff, and she called Amanda and she was going to have an abortion. And we actually asked her not to have the abortion, that we would love to have the child, because we were actually getting ready to start looking to have a child, her and I, and then God opened this door.
Yeah.
And so she ended up saying, okay, we brought her to live with us for the 9 months while she was carrying, and actually offered for her to stay longer, because, I mean, for somebody to give such an amazing gift it's so precious. And seeing it firsthand and being involved, getting to go to all the doctor's appointments, and so on. But I knew if she was with us during that time that she was going to be clean.
Right.
And that was what was best for Aubrey at the time. And so she stays with us. We're living in Lawson during that time, up by Kansas City. And I'll never forget, we go to Liberty Hospital when she's having the baby, and at Liberty Hospital was so great to us. She was back delivering, Amanda went back with her, and they had me go into another room, and they had us stay, I believe it was 2 nights at the hospital, and they brought Aubrey in, and it was just like as if, I mean, it was meant to be. I mean, we didn't skip a beat, which now Aubrey's 16 years old.
Wow.
She's driving, and but God is good.
What a gift, huh? 2 great gifts there in those kids. And I think your son has kind of followed in your footsteps. Is he in law enforcement now?
He is. He actually initially spent 6 years in the military. He was in the Army National Guards. He came to us, he enlisted at 17 years old. He went to boot camp at 17. So his senior year of high school, he actually was in Fort Sill, Oklahoma, going through boot camp.
Wow.
So, and then he was a crew chief for the Black Hawk. He flew in the Black Hawk helicopters. And then, which now we have an amazing daughter-in-law. So he ended up meeting her. He went into the police academy, which now he's an officer. And now we have a beautiful grandson, Rowan.
Wow.
So Kayla, Austin's wife, has been, I have two amazing daughters.
Yeah.
And an amazing son and an amazing grandson.
You've been blessed, huh?
I've been very blessed.
Wow. And a pretty great wife, and
Oh, she's amazing.
in Amanda too, that's played a huge part in your whole life.
Yes.
In fact, she, when you were making big money in Kansas City working in the corporate world, she saw that wasn't fulfilling to you and told you needed to get back into serving, even though it meant a huge pay cut, right?
Oh yes, it was. Well, I mean, I ended up making probably a third or a fourth of what I was making then.
Wow, that's pretty special. So your wife, Amanda, is in the teaching business, I think. Is that right? Okay. You've done a lot of teaching over the years. Do you enjoy teaching? Does that come in handy when you're the sheriff?
It does.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was teaching at the LCTC, those kids are amazing, and seeing them grow. I actually have two of my prior students working for me right now.
Yeah.
So, and we have two more coming over as well. So I have two that are now deputies, and I have two that are coming into the jailer system. And there's more actually have started applying, but the teaching aspect, I think it's an asset, because I've been able to work to get information out to people.
Yeah.
And that helps with the deputies. And actually, we're bringing into training into the facility now, to where before we were doing online training, which most people learn with their hands.
Yeah.
Let's get down and dirty, let's do it. So that's what we're doing now.
Especially with what you do. I mean, shooting guns and, putting handcuffs on. And so you got to do that. You can't learn that online.
No, it has to be hands-on. So now that's where we're going with everything. And we're actually creating our own training, and we're having some other companies come in too. And we're all working together.
That's cool. We're talking with Sheriff Chris Edgar, Camden County. We'll continue this amazing conversation when we come back on the COMC Community Spotlight Show. Central Ozarks Medical Center, voted Missouri's best and best at the lake, is recruiting team members due to growth. Amazing employment opportunities for both medical and non-medical positions, with competitive salaries and outstanding perks. For more information, go to the Careers tab at centralozarks.org. COMC for the best medical, dental, and behavioral health care. Join a leader. Join our team. COMC, where your health is our mission.
Don't miss out on your favorite show. Watch Lake TV on demand on YouTube, Roku, and Fire TV.
Welcome back to the COMC Community Spotlight Show. We're talking with Sheriff Chris Edgar of Camden County. Took over the job, won the election in 2024, took over in 2025. Enjoying it? Do you enjoy the job?
I do.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed it's been eye-opening a lot. There's been some challenges I didn't expect, but I love a good challenge.
That's always the case, right?
That's
There's
right.
always going to be a challenge. Being in law enforcement, and before that, you were in firefighting and you were an EMT, emergency medical technician. So you have seen some heartbreaking stuff over the years. What's some of the most heartbreaking stuff that you've had to deal with in your career?
I worked child crimes for 5 years, and it was usually child abuse or child sexual crimes. And that one took its toll.
Yeah.
So I've now I won't let my guys work. 2 years is the most I'd let somebody work in that field. 5 years took a toll on me. That ended up where that's when I found out how important it is to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
because it turned me into somebody that I probably wasn't.
Yeah.
I was thinking everybody was against everybody. So now, from that aspect, if I see one of our deputies going through that, I can understand and I can relate to be able to know to get them help. Because when you're in such a dark world, you begin thinking everything's dark.
Yeah.
And it's even hard, and that's where faith is very important. And it's so hard because you get so wrapped up even in the darkness of how dark people can be.
Yeah.
And it's hard to say, God, how could you allow this person to be like this?
Yeah. Because you're dealing with evil. I
Yes.
mean, face to face with evil, and you have to kind of come to terms with that, I'm guessing. And if you don't work it out in the right way, it will ruin you.
Yes,
it will suck you down into that whole evil stuff. On the other side of the coin, there's a glorious aspect
absolutely.
to being in law enforcement, right? You see the evil, you see the terrible, and you have to deal with that. But on the other side, what are the great parts about being in law enforcement? What do you like the most about it?
You get to help people, and I'll never forget, it was a case that I ended up having. I was actually patrolling. It was just normal everyday patrol, and I came across the radio of a 1-week-old baby, and that baby wasn't breathing, but it was outside of my jurisdiction. So I thought, I'd seen the fire department coming, so I actually pulled over, and this was in Camden, and I'm right by Casey's on South Business 5 by the middle school.
Yeah.
And I'm just driving. I pull over, fire department passes me, and I'm in a marked unit, and I go to pull out, and all of a sudden here comes a van running very fast, and immediately cuts me off and blocks me right in front of me. And initial reaction is I'm jumping out of the car. I'm thinking I'm ambushed.
Right.
And when I jumped out of the car, a mother carrying her baby is running towards me. And it was a 1-week-old baby that wasn't breathing, that was blue. And the trust that the community has in us, when she handed me the baby and said, "Save my baby," and I was able to start CPR right in the middle of Business Route 5.
Right.
I mean, I'm in the middle, I'm on the lines doing CPR and yelling for the ambulance to get to my location. And about the time they roll up, the baby started to cry.
Wow.
And the trust that our community has that we could save a life, and that's instilled into us, to officers, I think a lot of times we miss the boat on that. And that's why we're here. That's why we do what we do.
Yeah.
And those are they are by far worth any amount of money you can give me.
Yeah.
If I could help save a life, that's what it's about.
Well, and that one was right in front of you, obvious that you saved that life, but you also saved lives in other ways that you never know about.
Correct.
Right? That I guess you have to keep reminding yourself that you're doing that. I don't know. Is that the way that works?
Yeah, I mean, we hope that we are.
Yeah.
I mean, we ultimately hope that we're doing good. But I truly believe that this is where we become the hands of God. Mm-hmm. This is where God allows us to be able to help people. And that's a huge part of our job.
Yeah.
And that's what we strive for.
Well, and that's biblical. I mean, the Bible calls us the body of Christ, right? We are his hands, we are his legs and stuff like that. So that's a fascinating way to look at that. We're running out of time, our final few seconds, but you like to hear from the community.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So people can call you. People can even come into the sheriff's office to talk to you.
Correct, absolutely. Yes, anytime. Please don't hesitate. If there's anything I could do, let me know. We can't fix problems if we don't know we have problems.
There you go. Okay. Sheriff Chris Edgar, blessed to have him as the sheriff. Thank you, sir, for coming by. We're going to have to do more of these in the future if you're all right.
Anytime.
All right. Well, thank you. And thank you so much for joining us for Lake TV's COMC Community Spotlight Show.
You're You're watching Lake TV.